Good evening and welcome to the Media Speaks Live Sunday show.
Blame me, try to shame me, and still I'll care for you.
Now, normally on the Sunday show, I start out all crazy and just go for it early in the mornings. Back when we had a show. Kyle Phillips, my homie, and Court. Brought on Sam. Loved Sam earlier. He's at the haunted house. He's at Cedar Park, all that good stuff that happens there in Ohio. Yeah. So we didn't get to do a show this morning, and we tried to bring in some other people. I mean, we've always had amazing guests. I mean, go back and look at all the guests we had. Holland Van Nieuwenhof. I mean, give me a break. I mean, Tyrell Ventura. Yeah, we had him on the show. You know what I'm saying? Kyle Phelan. Yeah, he was on the show. And Austin Pember was on the show. And we always had amazing guests on the Media Speaks. And one of the things that we do on the Media Speaks, though, is near the end of the show, and Matt Winklejohn and just so many amazing guests. But near the end of the show, we start to loosen up. And, whatever you talked about in the first, hour and a half, Anne-Marie, now we're just going to, sever all that political talk and, now we're just going to cut loose and talk about entertainment. And maybe that's what the show should be all the time. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's what I'm best at. But so I'm just going to do a whole show. The Media Speaks is just going to fast forward to the entertainment section. But we're going to tie it all back together, because one of the amazing things about the Media Speaks and the entertainment section over all the time that we've been doing it, going back to 2012, it was actually Kyle who said, and Kyle was always pushing for, Netflix and Hulu and all that VOD, all that video on demand type stuff. I'm a little older. He's a younger guy. I'm just trying to keep up with the Joneses over here. DLAKE for PREZ. Got no viewers. Whatever. I thought I titled this show pretty brilliantly, Black Mirror on Netflix, seasons 1 through 3. Well, everyone is tuning in this weekend to episode 3 because it just dropped on Friday. And today is Sunday. It's October 23rd. Halloween is coming up. And so, I watched the first episode of season 3 of Black Mirror on Netflix. It's called Nosedive with Bryce Dallas Howard starring, and it was just amazing. I think that's Ron Howard's daughter, if I'm not mistaken. I could go look that up, but I think that's Richie Cunningham's little girl. But she's amazing in that episode, regardless of what her parentage is. With I don't want to spoil anything. But the Black Mirror is so great, and it was Kyle, I believe, on an entertainment section of the Media Speaks, who a couple years ago said, "Have you seen Black Mirror?" He's like, "You have Netflix, right, DLAKE?" Like I said, he was always pushing for VOD. I don't even have cable. We have that in common. I don't even need cable. I do everything here on my amazing internet landscape. And so I watched the first episode of the first season. Now let me bring up let me bring this up on screen while we do this live. And so the first episode of the first season was called The National Anthem. It was called The National Anthem? Oh, geez, I thought it was called Pig Fucker. Episode 2 was called 15 Million Merits, and It's a toss-up between Nosedive and maybe the next episode, The Entire History of You, but 15 Million Merits is up there. I think it's one of my favorites. That's where the song comes from. Oh man, that was my favorite episode. Then The Entire History of You was a really, really good one. And you know, I'm pretty good with the words and the wordplay and stuff, but such a great song, man. I just want to let it keep playing, but I better not, because I'll probably get this video is already probably banned. The Entire History of You. Then season 2 was Be Right Back. Oh, Be Right Back. Yeah, no, that one was great with okay, no, here's what I'm gonna do. RogerEbert.com. Now everyone is seeing what I'm on my internet, on my screen share. And RogerEbert.com is a site that I go to a lot. Big fan. Huge fan. I mean, personally, I like Siskel better than Ebert, but big fan of Roger Ebert's website. Unfortunately, for all us older people, both Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert have they're reviewing movies in the afterlife. So your movie better be goddamn good, or they're not going to like it in the afterlife, okay? But you know what they do like? Is Through the Looking Glass, the brilliance of Black Mirror. Now, the website has, you know, continues on in Roger Ebert's name in memoriam. In memoriam, from 1942 to 2013, Roger Ebert loved movies. The highest rating you can get is 4 stars. This isn't a rating officially. This is just a Demanders. It's in a special section all its own. Through the Looking Glass, the brilliance of Black Mirror. And a big shout out to Brian Tallarico, my man, Tallarico. Yo. B. What up, B Tallarico? Nothing on television in recent years, perhaps ever, has more interestingly addressed our national obsession with and reliance upon technology like Black Mirror. The series returns to Netflix with 3-episode series in 2011 and 2013. Now, that's season 1 and season 2. I talked about the 3 episodes in season 1. My favorite was 15 Million Merits, but it was a toss-up because The Entire History of You, they talk about that in the Roger Ebert. Season 2 was Be Right Back, excellent. White Bear, not really memorable. Sorry. In the Waldo moment, I started to feel like maybe they were slipping. The Waldo moment had like it didn't grab me like Be Right Back. I mean, that was amazing. But then the White Christmas special with John Hamm, oh, that was tight. And then so the other night when it premiered, I watched Nosedive, and I was like, oh my, I'm gonna start. I have to watch all the new episodes. Last night I watched Playtest, and I gotta tell you what, Playtest was actually pretty horrific. Oh, and this picture right here, that's where I was when I decided I wasn't even this far, but I recognized what I'm seeing there in that picture. Oh, San Junipero. Let me find this. Okay, so the author of this article on Roger Ebert is talking about the episodes, and he says part of the joy of Black Mirror is experiencing the twists and turns of writer Charlie Brooker's narratives as unspoiled as possible. Okay, so yeah. So I don't want to give anything more away, do I? and the author doesn't dare want to ruin it. He says, "Trust me, everything from here on out is stuff revealed early in each episode." And I'm not even trying to go that far. I'm just trying to tickle your ass with a feather, okay? But listed, the first episode, Nosedive. He says that's the best one. I said it was really, really good, and now I'm hooked. And stars Bryce Dallas Howard, excuse me. Is that Ron Howard's daughter? Where does this link take us? Find her on IMDb. You're watching me use the internet live. Her father, Ron Howard, Richie Cunningham. See, I told you. I'm pretty good at this. I should be on a movie trivia show. Let's see. Go back on this page. Okay. The best. Don't tell me the first one is the best and then nothing's going to live up to the first one. Imagine a human Yelp, if you will, and what that would do to the human spirit, and the F word, and ass kissing to try to be a 5. And by the end of the show, I was like, yeah, I'd probably be like the brother of the sister, and I'd just be a 3 playing video games, but whatever. Almost equally unforgettable. Wait, unforgettable. Oh, you can't forget about it. Is playtest. Yeah. It actually. So episode 2 playtest. That shit like haunted my dreams last night. I'm serious. I watched that one. A new Survivor horror title. A video game, or like a man. You gotta watch that one. And then Shut Up and Dance. I'm like, that's a stupid title. What is there going to be dancing? What is this one about? And the guy, the critic at Roger says, Roger E, my man, says that it's the first minor disappointment. Does that mean there's a major disappointment coming up? Why would you call it that? And there's few too many twists to feel more like, no, I thought it was going to be the mom at the end. I thought it had enough twists for me. A young man is enjoying himself, pleasuring himself as in masturbating in front of his video camera. I thought it played well. And I'm only on episode 4. And this picture is a picture from the episode that I just started watching before I decided that I want to pump up Black Mirror. But what I have to go on is only the first 3 and thing that dropped on Netflix. So this isn't a full critique of that. But what it is tying back to like when Kyle and Court and Sam and I were like the first ones on the internet saying that you guys need to go to Netflix and get a Netflix account right now and start watching. And if you haven't, start watching this show. It's called Black Mirror, because it didn't pop up like when it first came out. It was like it was a show that was on like the British broadcasting, the BBC, and then like Netflix aired what was on the BBC. But for this 3rd season, Netflix is getting so big. They said, "Can we have that? We'll take that. We'll bring that in, or we'll produce it. We want to make more of those." And the creator and the showrunner, and not the actors, because there is no. It doesn't. It has, each episode has its own cast, and I think probably director too. I think there's like an overall producer, and then they bring in special directors and special casts, and it's like the Twilight Zone, and it's like other shows that you've heard of. What do you call that? Episodic or something? Chapters? Because they're all chapters in a book, but anthology? No, not anthology, but that means like a collection. Episodic, right? What do you call that? Leave a comment below. What do you call the Black Mirror, because it's like the Twilight Zone where each episode is different. But at the same time, it's kind of Marvel Universe or like they all, like this one that I just started watching though, it starts in the fucking, they're like in the 80s and they're talking about like, there's like Max Headroom and Cyndi Lauper. And I'm like, wait a second, I thought this show was all about like futuristic technology. What is this episode going to tell me? But all I know so far is too much that got spoiled by the guy that says don't spoil it too much. Brian Tallarico on Roger Ebert that says that it's the first minor disappointment. Why would you tell me it's a minor? I'm not advising anyone it's a minor disappointment until I finish watching it. If I have any disappointment, it's just the fact that, like I just said, when it started, I'm like, why are we in the 80s on this show that so far has been like, but it is always kind of, not that it's felt 80s, but it's felt, it feels like it just takes shows and takes concepts and takes, well, obviously like technology and stuff, the way that we know it to be through the Black Mirror. The Black Mirror that you're watching right now, when you receive a text message and you go to that and you press the button, looks like I could just Black Mirror on Netflix. Everyone, check it out. I'm DLAKE for PREZ reporting, and man, I just want to go back into this newest episode and watch it. And I always go back, and like I said, my favorite episode is 50 Merits. I want to go back and watch that one again with the guy that's having like a fight with his girlfriend, and they have the device implanted in them where they see all their memories, the whole history of you, I think it's called. And also that one with Peggy Carter from Captain America is a great one. Her husband, and then she gets like a husband robot. Husband droid. I don't know. I don't want to freak anyone out, but imagine if your loved one died and then you got like you're like, well, I'll just get a replicant of my loved one in robot form. I mean, how do you think that would go over with all your family and friends and stuff?